Hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. Happy Friday. It's November 18th, and we've got another awesome guest on. It's bright and early for them over there. If you're newer, or maybe this is your first time watching, we go live every single Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, and we bring on some sort of a guest that is having success from our training or is using one of what we call the core 4 business models online, affiliate marketing, digital courses, coaching and consulting, and events and masterminds. And so we try to bring on people who are finding success in various different niches, industries, businesses, and share a little bit about how they started. And this is a way to get a little bit of inspiration. And rather than waking up with Fox News or CNN or other cable news, you can wake up and get a little dose of inspiration for your day. So if you're tuning in live with us, let us know where you're tuning in from in the comments. We go live from our Facebook page. So let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from. We'd love to see all the different places that people tune in from. And let's bring on our guest for today. Also, if you can leave a little comment saying welcome and good morning to our guest, Alexis. What's happening?
Hello, not much.
Good to have you on the show.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about you and your journey to finding Legendary, and tell us a little bit about you've got a whole career that you have as a dental hygienist, I think, and tell us a little bit about that, and tell us a little bit about why you decided to come online and start to learn some online digital skills.
Yeah, of course. So I actually started my career in nursing. I
Okay.
went to nursing school for 9 months. I commuted every single day. It was probably like an hour and a half commute every single day. And throughout that time, I cried every day and knew I didn't want to do it. I knew it wasn't for me. And so I'd go home and tell my parents, I'm like, I'm not supposed to be a nurse. And they're like, this is what you've always wanted to do. You should do it. And I'm like, nope, not for me. I know it's not for me. And one day I went into my advisor's office and I was like, I'm dropping out. And they were like, excuse me? They were like, I mean, my GPA was great. Everything was going good. I knew it wasn't for me. And they were like, well, hold your place for 2 years if you ever want to come back. And I was like, okay, sounds great. I'm not coming back, but thank you. So then I felt like I was in a crisis mode. I was like, what do I do with my life now? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? And one of my best friends was like, you have great teeth. You should go into dental. And I was like, dental? And I was like, I've never even thought of that. So I actually became a dental assistant first. I was a dental assistant for about 5 years, and it just wasn't making the money that I wanted. So I was like, why don't we just go ahead and go to hygiene school? So I applied. I was super lucky. I got in my first round, which was like very unheard of because hygiene school is very competitive to get into. I was like one of 5 that like got picked out of district from where I was at to go. Wow. So I went through hygiene school and I love the dental field. I truly do. It's like my passion. I'm so glad I found it. Right now I am working part-time, kind of. I sub at my office. It's very small. It's private. It's called perio. So it's like the hardest of the hard for teeth. And wow. I got carpal tunnel and I'm only 28. So when my hand was starting to go numb during appointments, I was like, something is wrong. I need to figure it out. So I went to the orthopedic surgeon and they were like, you for sure have carpal tunnel and a nerve is sitting on my elbow joint too. So every time I move my arm, my entire hand goes numb. Oh. Yeah. So not fun. So I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So just like any other person at night, what do? You scroll on I'm on TikTok and all of a sudden I start seeing these girls my age saying that they're like working from home, doing stuff online, making all this money. And I'm like, I want to do that. So I kept seeing Legendary Marketer pop up like on all of these people that were saying this. I was like, okay, this is a pretty well-known course then, since so many people are doing it. I had reached out to a couple people, just kind of asking questions, trying to get a feel for it. Because of course, everything on the internet, you're like, is this a scam? Like, is this real? Like, can we actually do this? So I ended up signing up for the course. And I always tell people how I knew it wasn't a scam is by the 3rd day when you get set up with an advisor. I was like, oh, I'm
Mhm.
talking to a real person. Like I get to do a Zoom call with somebody.
Yeah.
So I did the Zoom call. I went through the 15-day course and it was like the best thing that I've ever taken. It was so in depth with stuff. Every question that I had before I started got answered throughout the course. And I was like,
Hmm.
this is amazing. Like, this is so good. Like,
Cool.
one of the best online courses I could have asked to take. So that started skyrocketing when I started my TikTok. I started posting videos on there, kind of getting a feel for it, and then probably by like my second month, I was getting so many views on my posts, and I was like, "This
Damn.
is crazy." I'm like, "What is going on here?" And then I've now had so many of my videos just go viral, like 7 to 800,000 views. I have one that has over 1 million views. Like you're just constantly
Right.
getting followers and like it's just crazy how it works. I didn't think that it would like happen like this. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And my friends and my family are like, no freaking way. They're like, this is not. And I'm like, I know. I'm like, I never thought of it either. Um, so then I
Cool.
was going through like the course and stuff, and I saw that like Pinterest was one that people use as well. And I love getting on Pinterest and posting pins. So I was like, why not do Pinterest too? So on my Pinterest, I use like affiliate marketing, but I also promote my dental products there too, since I'm a hygienist and I know
Cool.
about dental products. I'm like, why not do this there? So I post those two things on Pinterest, and they've just been both amazing for me.
Wow, that's so crazy. So when you started posting on TikTok and stuff, like, had you ever like really made TikToks before? Was that like a new thing or a new concept for you?
I'd made a couple, like, trying
Okay.
to do, like, the trendy videos and stuff. Oh, they were absolutely terrible, though, like, not good at all, and I was
Right.
like, "This is, like, cringeworthy," so I actually, like, hid some of my videos because I was like, "I don't want people to go back and see these."
Oh God, please, from the deep dungeons of the internet, please let no one
Yes.
ever find these.
I was like, "This is so bad." I was like, I can't have them on my page right now," so I just put to only me to see them.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is funny that we have, like, I was just looking at your TikTok and like you've had a video recently that had like 1 million views or something. And I was
Yes.
just on a webinar recently where people are like people were commenting to me, like, what's happened to TikTok? Like, it just seems like nobody's getting like views the way that we used to, or whatever, whatever it is. And it's interesting because you're using a strategy that I've seen quite a few people use, which is these shorter videos that have a lot of words on the screen, and people, they keep replaying, and you
Yep.
get lots of views. Now, so for instance, one of your videos, and for those of you watching, we'll share her TikTok a little later, and you can kind of go look for yourself. But one of your strategies is posting videos that have a lot of words on the screen. It's about 5 seconds, and it keeps playing, and so the TikTok algorithm is like, "Damn, like this video, people are sitting here reading this video," and I've had lots of feed over the last couple of years. I've had lots of feedback on, uh, you know, what style videos work and what don't, and theories and people, conspiracies. Oh, this type of video works, this doesn't. But I think find the power of this show to me is that we unpack sort of what's working right now for real people. Like, for instance, that strategy is working really well. Now, the big objection to doing a video like that from most people, and I'd like for you to address it, is that those types of videos, they might grow your followers,
Mhm.
but they don't really result in leads or sales. Like, they don't actually help you make money. Could you address that a little bit? I mean, you don't have to get into income claims and stuff like that, but I
That's
know
okay.
that you're successful. You're making money, and um that being part of your strategy seems to have helped you generate leads and make sales.
Yes. Um, I would say for me personally, I like to reach out to people. So beforehand, I was
Mm,
actually like following everybody and trying to message them, and it got
mm,
way too overwhelming. So now I try to message back on my TikTok and say, hey, follow my Instagram, direct message me on
mm,
Instagram, or you can just click the link in my bio and it'll give you all the info and details to what you want. And I think that's what's
Ah,
really helped
wow.
people go to that, personally messaging them. TikTok's wild right now. That account's on like a view only mode until like the 23rd. I've sent in reports to them, and they take it off almost right away when I send in a report. But
Right.
that's the only issue that I've had, because now I'm having like thousands and thousands of comments and I can't respond to anybody. And they're like, the link isn't in your bio. And I'm like, I know. So actually, before I went on this show, I went live on my TikTok. And I had
Nice.
so many people asking me, like, how do I get to your information? And I told them my Instagram was the same as my TikTok. So before I came on here, I had like 6 new messages on my Instagram. And they're like, I've been trying to get a hold of you. I didn't know how. So it's really great to have like the different ways. So my biggest thing to tell
Yeah.
people is, if you can, at least try to get a couple comments on your TikTok saying like, hey, go to my Instagram, or my link is in my bio, go to that. Because most people see the video and they don't go to your page. So then if they
Yep.
go to your page and they see the link, they're like, oh, this is where I can like find all the information.
Right. Yes,
So
makes total sense.
yeah.
Makes total sense. And I've told people, for instance, with stuff like TikTok too. This is a fun idea that I used to do when I was doing webinars back in the day. Is I would and Dave used to do this too. Dave has a domain that he owns called, I think it's like Dave's Big News, or Dave Has Big News or something like that
Mhm.
.com. And so he would go on a webinar, and it would just be an easy to remember domain that he would forward to his funnel, or you could forward to your Instagram account or something like that. That's an interesting idea. Where, if you go live on TikTok and you're like, damn, I don't have a link in my bio, you could do a green screen with this big ass domain above your head that's
That's so
like,
smart. That's
dave1000.com or something.
yeah.
And then as people are scrolling, they're like, oh, now I know where to go, and I don't have to go through all these different steps of like, through the I think it's totally fine though to have people reach out on Instagram, because that's just one idea. But the way that you're doing it, the reason I like what you're doing is because when you get people to reach out to you, it changes the dynamic from being the hunter versus the hunted. And
Yes.
it puts you in a position where you have people seeking you out, as opposed to feeling like, you've got to go hunt everybody down and tell them about this great thing that you want to sell them. And that
Yeah.
usually doesn't work. Human psychology doesn't work that way. It's why like the hard to get thing is a real thing in dating. It's because there's this element of like, I have to go, reach out and find it and chase it. And the same is true in a lot of times in marketing. And so as you've been doing that and working through, TikTok's view only things, there's lots of people who experience that. Um, have you found that a majority of traffic and stuff is coming through TikTok? Is that the primary place you're finding success?
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
But now that I have my Instagram linked to my TikTok, my Instagram is getting a lot as well too. Like over the
Oh,
past
cool.
week, I would say my followers have grown like by 300 in like a week.
Awesome.
I'm getting
Wow.
like 10 to 15 a day now. So once my TikTok comes back to life, I'm assuming I'm going to get even more. Another
Cool.
big thing that I saw was when I first started, I kind of geared it more to like the 9 to 5 people wanting to quit their job. And now that I found healthcare workers like dental hygienists and
Mm,
nursing and stuff, that's
yep.
when now I've started to see the people like in my profile, like, I'm a hygienist too. Well, I'm a hygienist and I want to make money on the side. Well, I'm a nurse and I only want to work part time. So it really is a true thing when you have to find like your specific audience. Like the more broad you are, you get like random people. Like I was getting a lot of college kids at first that were like, I don't have the money to actually start this. Like I had a lot that were like, do you want to pay the $7 for me? And I'm like, no, I
No.
don't. I'm sorry. So now
That's
finding the
funny.
right audience is really a big part of it.
Yeah, finding and right, bingo. And a lot of times you can do that through, starting out the video in the first 5 seconds, or calling it out, or if you have a bunch of words on the screen, which is a
Mhm.
great strategy nowadays, to start the video with some of those words on there. and it'll help call out the audience a little bit. I noticed in for instance, you did this, a great example in the video that you have that got 1.1 million views. You talk about in the first sentence or two, nursing school, dental hygienist. And a lot of times when people are scrolling, and that stuff, those words are right in the middle of your video. Like, so as I'm scrolling, nursing and dental hygienist, as I'm scrolling, if I'm in let's say I'm a dental hygienist, it's like, boom, I'm going to see it and I'm going to be like, oh, I'm in dental hygienist TikTok now.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to be like, wait, what's she talking about? Interesting, you know? And that's part of the reason. And then they're like, okay, let me read this again. And now suddenly the algorithm's sort of building this like network for you of people who are, number one, usually dental hygienists have $7 to spend. You know, they
Yes.
might not be the wealthiest, richest group in the entire world, but, you know, they might not be billionaires, but like there's some expendable income there for sure. It's a good career. And you're also building people who probably have a similar journey or a similar story or a similar lifestyle as you, which then helps sort of people can relate to that. So it's a really powerful marketing point you just said there, which is kind of calling out the audience, identifying who that audience is, and then building your content to speak to that ideal avatar, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. So it's
So
been great.
yeah. And I like that you've also built in kind of like your dental hygienist thing into that, or you've built in something that's your expertise already. And the other day, I can't remember, I have been this is kind of weird, but I've been scrolling through TikTok occasionally, and this same person is going live. Who I think, I don't know what exactly she sells, or what, I haven't discovered that quite yet, but she goes live and she's a dentist and she just answers questions about like people's teeth, or like questions about their teeth, like on a TikTok live. And there's hundreds of people who attend this thing who are watching her live. She's been doing this for months. And I do think that finding different avenues or expertise, like finding different niches that you can explore into, is a really powerful thing too, long term, because you can build out multiple different niches and businesses. And when you start to do that, you start to see where you're drawn to and where you're not really drawn to. Especially over the long term, you can start to build out coaching businesses, or um, even just selling digital courses. Like, I know that this sounds crazy, but selling digital courses on like a nighttime and morning time routine, or a little ebook or something like that, um, for your teeth. I know that that sounds crazy, but there's a lot of people out there who, when you market it certain ways, like, hey, have you ever wondered what's the dentist recommended routine? And have you ever wanted to see a dentist actually do it, or a dental hygienist actually do that routine? Like, I'll walk you through this entire thing. And then for the rest of your life, pay me $30 for my course one time. And then for the rest of your life, you never have to worry about like, how should I be cleaning my teeth? And chances are
Exactly.
you'll save yourself hundreds and hundreds of dollars on stupid, root canals and all this different bullshit. And anyway, I'm making this up as I go, but I think that sometimes, you found a real passion in that niche and in that industry. And then, you can combine sort of the core four business models with that. And in your email follow-up, you can have, my number one recommended toothbrush. And you could probably have an affiliate link to that, right? Um, you could send them to a page that has you holding up this little toothbrush or whatever. And like, here's why I love this toothbrush, blah, 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 blah. And then there's a big, huge button to go purchase that right now. Go, purchase. And you could build out 50 different emails of different dental products or educational things or whatever. And I just think a lot of times people discount their expertise. So I'm happy to hear that you're sort of taking a look at your expertise and all the work and energy you put in, and now you've sort of discovered different ways to tie that in. What in the dentist realm have you found to like sell, or are there any products so far that you found that you could sell or be an affiliate for or anything like that?
Yeah, so there's a toothbrush called Quip. You can be an affiliate for them. It's just like a
Oh,
um,
I used Quip a while back.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I know a lot of people that use it. I've used that one and my Oral B one.
Hmm.
So it just kind of, I recommend both are good. It just, they do different motions on their toothbrush head. So it's just kind of a patient preference of what they like the most.
Cool.
And then I have another one. It's like a little gummy, and I've had some of my patients
Hmm.
try it, and it's for like perio disease, helping put good bacteria back into your mouth.
Oh,
So I've done that one as well, promoted that, and I've seen some good reviews on that. So those
wow.
are my two
Cool.
biggest ones. I started focusing more on the affiliate marketing side with like Legendary because I was
Yeah.
seeing more success with that.
Yep.
So my biggest thing is when I get too many at one time, I get so jumbled up and I'm like, oh my gosh, this goes to this, that goes to that. So I've really tried to focus on one thing that's
Yep.
working right now. And that's what I tell
Cool.
people when they like
Good.
message me. They're like, how do you do it? And I'm
Yep.
like, I first started trying to have like 5 different platforms. I was like, absolutely not. Do not do it. I was like, so stressful. I was like, start with one thing and build from there. And I was like, as you become good at it, as you get like the hang of things, then you can start building other platforms along with it that like coincide, and it makes it so much easier.
Yeah, I think that is a great strategy. Whether that's, you're doing it in the make money online niche, or whether it's in the dentist niche, or whether it's in the whatever niche. Um, there's a question people always ask me, which is, hey, can we build out multiple niches? Can we build out multiple businesses? And the answer is always yes, but uh, usually recommend starting and generating some form of income as just a proof of concept
Yeah.
with something that you can sell, or something that you could be an affiliate for and make sales from. And yeah, I think that starting that way and beginning to build a little bit of expertise, or building a little bit of authority in a niche or industry, and just a little bit of like self-confidence as being an
Yeah.
online like presence, or being an online person. What's your content creation look like from a day to day? Are you making like 3 videos a day, 5 videos a day?
It just kind of depends, honestly. So on the weekends, I normally try to make multiple videos and put them in my drafts. So then
Mhm.
throughout the day, I'm not having to be like, oh, I have to make another video right now, or oh, I have to think of something. So I do
Yeah.
that. And then if I have a video that's gone like viral or that's getting a ton of comments, I don't post for a couple days after that. I kind of let that one
Mm.
fester and get comments and likes on it and just solely focus on that one. Because after that, I've seen like if one video goes viral, the next two that you post maybe get like 300 or 400 views, maybe.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's no point in posting these ones, especially if I think it's like a good TikTok, if I'm really proud of it. And I'm like, this is a great one. It's going to get a lot of views. And then it gets like 200 views. I'm like,
Right.
so yeah, I try to just do it throughout the weekend and then post throughout the week. Anywhere between 1 to 3 though a day, even if it only gets a certain amount of views, I at least post one.
Cool. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I also think that, yeah, it's a good strategy to it's a good strategy to like post one of those videos, and then to post some videos after a super viral video, or to go live or something with more information about yourself, or more information about um like your journey or story. Basically, I was teaching this yesterday on one of our blueprints webinar calls. And the way I was explaining it was like kind of posting one of those, what I would call like a growth style video,
Mm-hmm.
and then posting 5 to 10 more conversion style videos. So growth, meaning to grow the channel. And then let's post like 5 to 10 videos that are more just like responses to comments. So just hitting reply to comment and posting that. Like that's an
Mm-hmm.
easy way to engage with your audience and show you're a real person, and encourage people to engage with your content. And then 5 to 10 days later, post another gross style video, because some of those videos, when they go viral, they can blow your channel up. You can go from 1,000 followers to 10,000 followers in a week or less, which is crazy, but it's the social media world we're living in. But yeah, I think that that's a good observation about how that works, and how that usually right after you post one of those, you get less views, and those are people who maybe followed you from the previous video and are still just kind of checking you out.
Yeah.
And so posting videos there that are more like, hey, get to know me, or hey, get to know my channel, or hey, here's where you can find me, that makes a lot more sense. What's been, in terms of strategy and finding content, how do you find content? How do you discover content that you can post on your channel? Are you stalking other people on TikTok? Are you getting ideas from other content creators? Like, how do you go about that process?
Yes, I have looked at other people's kind of to see what they're posting. Like the successful people, obviously you're like, well, they're successful. I want to be successful too. So I've looked at theirs and you kind of put your own spin on it. And then other times I'm just kind of like sitting in bed thinking about stuff. And I'm like, oh, I can be brushing my teeth as a hygienist right now and post that I just woke up and made this amount of money while I'm brushing my teeth. That was one of my other videos. I got so many people angry at me for the way that I was brushing my teeth. I was standing really far back and they're like, you're brushing your teeth wrong. And I was like, oh my gosh. So then I made another video of like close up and I was like, this is how I'm brushing my teeth. And I'm like, would you like me to post another one for you for a tutorial? And so then people were like, did you guys forget she's a hygienist? And so it's fun stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely have done the comment one where I've made videos of people asking questions. The biggest one you always get is like, what is affiliate marketing? What do you do day to day? And are you a real person? Like most people think that you're just like a fake robot. And so I'm like, no, I'm real.
Yeah, totally. And you have to be a little playful with it. And you have to be a little, I don't know, work in some humor, and like make yourself a little bit relatable to people. If you want people to listen to you and follow your instruction or take your advice or something, like you have to be a little bit relatable, at least,
Oh
you
my,
have to be able to give, yeah, likable. Yeah,
yeah.
there's a piece of it that's like, you have to be a little bit not interesting. The way Dave says this is, you got to be more interested in them than you do wanting them to be interested in you, or to be oh, I'm super interesting, look at me, look at me. um it has to be a bit more about them and their concerns, and what are they thinking, and what are they interested in, and how can you grab their attention, and then sort of entertain and massage where they're at in life, and all of that kind of stuff. Whether it's a quick toothbrush, or whether it's an online digital course, doesn't really matter. Yeah, wow, fascinating. Um, for people, and the best place to find you, do you prefer that they go and follow you both on TikTok and Instagram? Is that preferable?
I would say probably my Instagram, just
Okay.
because I'm able to respond to people faster that way and it doesn't block me from anything. So I know
Right.
that I always have that form to see my messages, respond to messages, and you can send like
Yeah.
pictures and videos there. I've had a
Right.
lot of people ask
Sure.
for like a video of just me talking to see that I'm a real person. I actually just had somebody yesterday. I looked at her profile and she lives like 5 hours away from me. And my boyfriend's sister is a nurse, like close to where she's at. And she was like, even you just saying that made me actually like believe that you're a real person. And I'm like, I am. I promise. I'm not just some rando trying to scam you. So,
Yeah, well, there's a lot of fake profiles out there now, and so
yes.
people have to be really careful. And it's those little things that are like, hey, could you just like send me a clip of saying hi, and like, here's my name, and then it's like you get a clip of somebody who's like, hey, I'm real,
Yeah.
or whatever, and then it's kind of like, oh, okay, like, this normalizes this experience a little, because otherwise, as I like scroll through something like Instagram or TikTok or whatever, it is a little bit like, damn, I don't know, like, who is this person? What are they actually like? There's a lot of people out there who will literally take an entire like Instagram profile and copy it. Like they'll download the photos, they'll upload them, they'll make it look just like them, and then they'll try to like scam them into some Bitcoin Ponzi scheme thing that isn't real, that has no legitimacy at all. And so people need to be aware of that. And so, yeah, that makes sense. And so, anyway, we'll point people to your Instagram. All that to say, we'll point people to your Instagram for you.
Yeah.
But before we sign off and everything, here's one thing that I'm wondering if you could help some of our beginners with. So a lot of times people who are watching the show, not everybody, there's lots of people who've been here watching many times, but a lot of people who watch our show um, are newer to our community. They're like, hey, sort of like you in August. Back in August when you signed in and purchased the challenge, they've been looking around, they've been, watching people on TikTok, whatever. They sign in, they look at day one and they're like, okay, this looks intense. Like this is going to be pretty intense. They start going through the challenge. They're like, okay, like, how am I ever going to post my first video on TikTok? This is so overwhelming. I feel like this is so intense. What would you say to those people who are in the first few days of the challenge, as they're just getting going, they're just starting to learn the business model, learn how to make money on the internet? What would you say to those people to give them a little inspiration or a little belief that they can do this?
Well, everybody starts out in the same way. We were all there at one point, like you just said. I took notes every single day. I had a little binder and I put day one, day two, day three. And so I would go through day by day and reread stuff. And then when it got time to post my first video, I think I was in the same boat that a lot of people have. Like, what if my family sees this? What if my friends see this? What if they make fun of me? And I'm like, then I had to completely change my mindset to be, I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm going to show them that I can do this and that I'm going to make money this way and that I'm going to be successful. And so I posted it and I just had no remorse or regrets after that. I was like, I'm going to keep doing it and I'm going to be successful and I don't care what people think. And that's had to be my biggest mindset, is don't care what people think. And then when you become successful and your videos start going viral and you actually become something, your friends and family are like, oh my gosh, like you actually did it. Like I'm to the point where my dad is having me help him sign up for the course so he can start doing this, because he's like, this is amazing. I need to do this. So my biggest thing is, don't be afraid. Get yourself out there. Everybody starts there. You have this huge community of people behind you. Like I love going on the Facebook page and seeing people encourage each other. Like we're here to encourage you. No one's here to bring you down. We're all want the same thing. We all want the same success.
Wow. Amazing. I love it. And yeah, it's really true that there is an amazing community that's been curated here. But also, man, that little nugget of advice, you make it sound easy, but it's not all that easy sometimes, when you're first getting started, just to not care what people are thinking. It's like, no, I do care a lot what people think. Like it matters a lot what my mom and dad think of me, or what my nieces and nephews think of me, or whatever, like that's a hard thing to do. But man, you've really pushed through that. And you're having an amazing run. So congrats on that, and congrats on all the success. You've worked hard for it. And yeah, keep on not thinking or not caring what other people think, because it looks like it's paying off.
Yes, yes, it is.
um, well, thanks for coming on the show, Alexis. And
Yeah.
we'd love to have you back on. If you want to come back on the show in like a month or two and just say hey again, and come on with Dave, and we'll kind of catch up on what's new and how things are going, and see if your TikTok's unlocked and all kinds of fun stuff. We'd love to have you back on.
Yeah, of course. I would love to. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. See ya.
Bye.
All right, so we've got Alexis's TikTok and Instagram up here. It's Make Money with _ Alexis. You can follow her on TikTok and Instagram. If you want to send her a message or just say, hey, saw you on Wake Up Legendary, send her a message on Instagram. Go to her Instagram, Make Money with _ Alexis. She's amazing. And we are pumped and excited as we're going into the weekend. Hopefully you are having a good November. We've got some cool updates to our system platform, everything that'll be coming later on in the year. And we're always working and scheming to make Legendary the best that we can possibly make it. Go follow Alexis and let Alexis know one powerful thing that you heard from her on today's show, so that way she knows what was meaningful. We'll be back here on Monday. I believe Dave will be back here on Monday for another episode of Wake Up Legendary. Peace out, everybody. See you. Have a good weekend.